Hey everybody, the Real Behemoth here, back again with another video for Heroes of History. So we are today looking into the light or yellow Tesla Storms tier list. So at the bottom in D tier, we've got Fuyu, Ada, and Jane. Now, I think there are definitely arguments to bring Fuyu up to, C tier, just because of his damage output. But Ada and Jane are definitely staying in D tier. Ada does some cluster damage and not a lot of it. There's going to be very little to no utility for her on the light or yellow Tesla Storm boss. And Jane, she's absolutely amazing when it comes to PvP or hero battles in the game, but against Tesla, she's relatively useless. Her ult does not work against the boss, and he's immune. Not to mention, it works against one minion, so you're not gonna really like her for pushing and boosting in the yellow Tesla. Now Temok and C, I've probably got to move him up to either B or A tier even, because he's going to be your primary healer for yellow bosses. Now, the only reason he was in C tier to begin with is simply because he's got his 2-star level cap, and his base stats are a little slower and lower. But he's got the heals. He's got the heals that we all need. There's really no big healer for yellow. We have a couple other light healers, but nothing big like his. So he could be moved to B or A even. I'd probably just move him to B personally, but that's my opinion. In B tier, we've got Charlemagne, Louis, Beethoven, Kandake, and Tomo. Now, Charlemagne, he's not going to be of much assistance for you in Tesla. His debuff is just not very strong, and he doesn't do very much damage at all. Now, Louis, there's definitely a case to be made for him to move up to A tier. Now, I haven't really used him much myself, but going off of what his description is saying, he may be a potential substitute for Temok as kind of a healer type, but he's not a healer. He's a shielder, right? So, dependent on how strong his shield is in Tesla, he could be a way for you to survive long enough in order to dish enough damage to beat the boss. Beethoven, I feel that he's lacking when it comes to Tesla. I don't feel like he's going to be of much use. Now, some of you may agree there, but that's, again, my opinion. Now, Kandake, there's definitely movement for him to be made. There's arguments for him to even move up to A tier just because of his single target damage. In some cases, he's just shy at the same level as Inanna in damage output. So as a 2-star hero, that's pretty solid. Now, with that being said, again, the only reason he's in B tier is because of his level cap. So there's a hindrance there. At a specific level, you're going to find, oh crap, I can't level him anymore, and he's squishy, he dies easily, and he's not doing as much damage anymore. Now, Tomo, I have her in B tier. She's an okay unit. Now, her main use is really just going to be to clear the cluster of minions very quickly. And so that's kind of going to be her primary purpose, but she's not going to do too much damage to the boss itself. George Washington with his Soul Link, I still feel like it's a double-edged sword almost. There's definitely potential for him to be in S tier. There's definitely arguments to be made there, just because if you have enough heals, he'll be able to survive, and your team will be able to survive a little longer. Just enough to be hitting the damage you need against this Tesla boss here. Now we've got Joan of Arc. I think that she could move down to B tier, but because she does have a little bit of a heal and does some cluster damage, that's the only reason I put her in A tier. Her level cap is significantly higher just because she's a 5-star. And her base stats are obviously higher as well. But I don't feel like she's going to be of much assistance compared to some of the others. So there's definitely arguments to be made for her to be in B tier. Now, next we've got our tank. Our Taunton tank. So he is going to be very, very solid. He's going to be very utilized heavily in the cluster or minion battles. And he actually, I believe, has a heal later on as well when you level up his ability enough. And so he is going to be pretty, he's similar to Otto when it comes to his skills. Now, Inanna, next up, are going to be one of our main single target damage dealers. And the reason why she is so high is, light heroes don't have a ton of single target damage dealers. So that's going to be definitely incremental for your progress, and she's very easily obtainable. So that's the reason why she's an A tier. Now, in S tier, we've got Sir Lancelot, Cleopatra, and Quan. Quan's got very deep cluster damage, and he's got a heal. He's just a well-rounded hero across the board. So you're going to be finding quite a bit of utility on him. I just got him not too long ago, so I haven't leveled him quite yet, but he's going to be very solid, even in Tesla. Just even if you're just going to be using him mainly for the minions, he's going to be solid across the board. So his heals are going to come into play, and they're going to come into play very nicely, considering you really only have Temok and really Louis hitting his shield for keeping your heroes alive there. Cleopatra with her mind control against the minions is going to be broken. I don't have her personally, but she is one of the strongest heroes, in my personal opinion, in the game. And she's going to be, either you're going to wipe, the minions, or she's going to mind control them long enough for your team to heal or, right? So she's got a ton of utility across the board. Now, Sir Lancelot is going to be one of your heavy damage dealers. He does single target damage, and he does quite a bit of it. He's a little bit tanky as well at the later levels, and you're going to find some really strong damage output against the light or yellow Tesla boss with him. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful, and let me know what you'd change and why. So have a good one, and I'll see you in the next one.